Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich here with your outlook for the weekend, September 3rd and 4th, 2016. For your Saturday, we're going to start off in the morning here with a tropical storm that's going to be just off near the Outer Banks of North Carolina. The National Hurricane Center has updated the track now, keeps it a tropical storm till right about here. And then it is still a warm chord system at this point, but it's somewhere between here and here. It's going to transition to a cold chord system or post-tropical system. So we're still keeping the advisories up along from the National Hurricane Center all up down the coast for tropical storm warnings, because even though it's not technically a tropical storm any longer, and in all actuality, the National Hurricane Center has this going from a post-tropical storm to a post-tropical hurricane before continuing out in this manner here like this. So it's going to do a little loop-de-loop up here as it comes in close to the coast. But it will still have very strong impacts right along the coastline. And I think the greatest impacts will be right along the immediate shore points. Maybe within about 10 miles of the shore points will be up and to the shore itself will have the worst impacts from this system. Further inland, really questionable. I know a lot of people have said, been sending us emails and sending us messages of the European model and different kinds of models showing some very high impacts very far inland. I wouldn't get too excited, and I told you this. I said this before to a lot of people. Once you're northwest of I-95, don't expect too much. Expect mostly just clouds and breezing conditions. Maybe some showers getting down in here Sunday afternoon and evening down toward the Philadelphia region and in and around there, the suburbs of that. But don't expect too much more further west than that. I really believe that. Now we're going to update this on the fly with the videos that we do. We'll have another one on Saturday morning, a special video on Hermine itself on the weather alerts page, and we'll do another one here on Sunday. But Sunday is the day of the impacts, we think, of where we have to start watching out for this. But here is, I'm going to take you through this loop here. This takes you through Saturday afternoon and Saturday evening. You can see some impacts starting to be felt down here. And again, what I said is at this point, this is where we're expecting this to transition to a post-tropical system. So again, from a technicality standpoint and being a cold chord system, or expected to be at this point, it will no longer be a tropical storm, but it will still have the same impact, so it won't really matter. This is just a technicality. This is going to come up here and start backing toward the coastline, do one of these little loopy-loops, might even do more than one loop, and then eventually it's going to head out here mid to late week. It's going to take a long time for that to do that because it's trapped under this ridge and it really can't go anywhere. So this is going to make a run back toward the coast here, but you see what's going on here. This is as far as the precipitation gets there, or as far as the heavy rain and wind is concerned. It's right along the immediate shore points here. This is really not getting too far inland. As a matter of fact, the next frame is the closest it gets, and you can see maybe getting into southeastern PA, extreme southeastern PA as far as rainfall is concerned. Yes, most of New Jersey, southern New Jersey especially, and Delaware are under the influence of this, but very strong winds coming in off the coast, I think, is the biggest issue. And then after this point, this starts to pull back down to the southeast and pull away. And but it's not really going anywhere. The GFS actually has us doing an extra loop and just kind of sitting there, not affecting the coastal areas with rain necessarily, but still got that strong wind flow coming in off the ocean before this thing finally starts to drift away. And that's not going to be toward the end of the week, I think, and it starts moving finally eastward. Mid to late week, this is going to finally start moving eastward. So it's going to kind of sit there and spin for several days. Biggest impact from this system is going to be the winds. Now, this is 850 millibar winds, and everybody got excited about this. They're going, oh, wow, look how far inland all these winds are here. But this is at 850 millibars. That's it. This is not at the surface. This is at 5,000 feet, and 5,000 feet is not going to translate to the surface. I can tell you that right now. These here, right along the coast here, is at 5,000 feet over. This is hurricane force winds, okay? But this is at 850 millibars. This is at 5,000 feet. This is not at the surface. If we go into a different look here, this is your wind gusts at the surface, and this is the worst it gets at the height of the storm. And this is going to be Sunday afternoon and evening. this is the worst it gets. Your highest gusts that we're seeing are to about 25 miles per hour right here. This light blue right here is 30 miles per hour. Okay, those are gusts. We start getting to 34, 35 miles per hour when you get into the green here. Okay, so again, tropical storm force winds are anything above 39. So I'm going to give you an area of where those gusts, these are just gusts now, not sustained winds. These are gusts. These areas right here are the areas where that I circled right here. This is the area that we are expecting to experience tropical storm force gusts, and sustained tropical storm force winds will be right down here. See the orange right along the immediate shore points? That orange is indicating over 50. Those are gusts. Sustained will still be about 35 or 40. There's somewhere between 30 and 40 here in this range, right along the immediate coast. So do I think it's a bad deal for the coast? Yes, absolutely. We're going to have high winds battering the coast. You're going to have very heavy rain. Here's the other side of things. Let me go into this image. The other image that we're looking at, this is going to be rainfall. If I get to it, there it is. This is the total rainfall. Again, along the immediate shore points is where the heaviest rain will fall. Anywhere from 3 to 5 inches could fall right around the immediate shore points. But look at the drop off as you go further west. This is your 1 inch mark where the blue starts. Back here, you're about a couple tenths of an inch of rain, and you get back to I-95, northwest 995. What I say, northwest of 995 is really your cutoff. You got a tenth of an inch in Philly. North of that, you just get a trace of precipitation, just very isolated showers. That's it. And then once you get up to Lehigh Valley, points northwest, forget about it. Nothing. Okay, so that's what we're thinking. So these areas will still just stay cloudy and breezy. Areas further southeast is what gets into the rain. And don't want to belittle the impacts of the shore. We're going to have a lot of wind and high coastal tidal flooding and things of that nature, back bay flooding. So there's going to be a very serious go at it here. There's going to be some very high waves, some surges of a couple feet here also, waves over 10 feet. Winds, of course, are going to be sustained over 35 miles per hour at the height probably Sunday afternoon and evening, and that's going to be with gusts over 50 right along the shore points. Once you get inland more than 10 miles, I don't expect it to be a big deal. I'm just being honest. I don't see it being a big deal too far inland. And once you get out here in these areas, it's going to be breezy. Your winds are going to probably be 12 to 20, okay, right out in these areas here. So I wouldn't expect a whole lot for the interior, and I'm really not. Once we get past this week here, once we get into the middle part of the week, I do want to mention one other thing. Once we get past Tuesday, we're expecting to get temperatures back up toward 90 again as we head toward the middle of the week. That might last for a few days, might have a heat wave that kind of lasts into next weekend, it looks like. So until we get the next cold front, that doesn't look like it's coming in until maybe the weekend. We'll see. But I think it's going to be probably later in the weekend when that comes through with this next cold front on Sunday. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich. That is your outlook for the weekend, September 3rd and 4th, 2016. Have a great Saturday and Sunday.